So I am happy to welcome you all here. And to kick off our morning this morning, we have a talk by Aben Kovoor, Area Lead for Developer and Platforms Group, Middle East and Africa for Microsoft, giving us a talk about accelerating innovation and opportunities for startups. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Morning, everybody. I know we started a bit late. First of all, I wanted to just thank ArabNet for hosting us and giving us this great opportunity to meet all of you, connect with you. I really appreciate that on behalf of all of us, so thank you. My name is Aben Kovoor. As you can see, I'm responsible for the developer and platform group for the Middle East and Africa region. And I'm here to talk to you about how to accelerate innovation and opportunity for startups. And hopefully by the end of the presentation, you'll get an idea of what are we doing for startups, because I get this question very often. I know we have some programs, but I want to stitch the whole picture for you so that you can understand what our roles of startup is. Now, before I dive in, I want to just sort of quickly set the stage of what does a startup really want. And this is based on some of the discussions we had yesterday, because I really don't want to go into the programs before explaining at a high level what does a startup really look for. So if I click here and say, the first thing that a startup asks for is help me innovate. Somebody has an idea, somebody has a group of friends have got together, but they want a platform to innovate. They want to put that idea together, get some mentorship, get some support. So that's the first question I get often. How can you help us think? The second area that we look at for a startup is, help me build a product. Now, I'm talking about IT-related startups in particular. But once you have an idea, what do you want to do? You want to build a product out of it, right? So that's the second question we get very often. And the third, the most important thing for a startup is, how do you connect to opportunities? At the end of the day, a startup's P&L is so tight, every minute is an existence, is a strain on them. And so the question is, without opportunities, how can you survive? And so I'm here to tell you in how Microsoft can help innovate, make the product, as well as connect you to opportunities. So let's go with the first part of how do we do innovation. Okay, so I think I have a problem with the clicker here. Okay, so let me go there. And it's really about saying, hey. So the first part, I don't know how many of you know this program called the Imagine Cup. We start very early in the cycle of innovation. Students are one of the most creative people that you can see on the planet today, right? How do you bring that creativity out and actually showcase that creativity on a global platform? Imagine Cup is the way we start with universities. So the way it works is, for those who don't know, every university nominates a small team of their students, and they build a solution and then compete in a countrywide program where they compete with each other. There's a local final, and then we showcase the team that has won the finals for the country on the global platform. So last year we had it in New York, and this year we have it in Sydney. So one of our key roles is to get the innovation that happens within the student community out on the global platform. Last year we had 350,000 students competing on the global stage. And now if you look at the work that we have done in the Middle East, and I'm really happy to say that last year we had some phenomenal success in this region. If you look at the number of teams from the Middle East and Africa region who have represented this region on the global platform in New York, it's just phenomenal. And I really want to showcase the fact that as Microsoft, because we are present in this region, because we are present in many of the countries with offices and locations, we have a great opportunity to collect those ideas and showcase on the global platform, because we truly can represent this region on the global stage. But what makes me prouder is the fact that there was one team that won the 3rd place on the global finals. They got a cash award of $75,000, and then they built a solution that actually allows people to interact with computers without the use of hands. And so this team in Jordan won the 3rd place, so I want to really recognize the team for their creativity and innovation for having showcased the Middle East and Africa region on the global platform. So really, thank you. So again, it's all about what does Microsoft do to gather innovation. And now the other thing that we do is we partner with local entities like yourselves and have local related competitions where startups can bring their idea and then innovate. So that's the first part. We have a strong story when it comes to innovation. Let me go to the next part, which is about building the product. So now you have an idea, you want to build that into a product because frankly, without the product, you can't do anything. So let's see how we can help you. First, Microsoft, again, I want to be clear that we cannot do the startup play alone. This is not a one-company play. This is not a two-company play. It's an ecosystem of partners that make it happen. Once I show on the screen here are the global partners that we have signed with our Silicon Valley team in California. So these are the ones, and the advantage that we can bring to a local entity here is the relationships that we have with these. These are well-known brands across the globe that we have a very strong relationship with. So I'd be more than happy to facilitate that brokerage of bringing these guys into the region because they provide services like mentorship, they provide services like competitions, and therefore we rely on this network to help us fuel that mentorship part. But then the second part comes, which is more important, is on the technology side, right? Now, traditionally, this is the area that we are most strong in because Microsoft, at the end of it, is a technology company. Now, you have associated us with platforms like Windows, you have associated us with platforms in Office, but over the last decade, you can see the amount of investments that we have made in various entities and platforms to help foster innovation. So let me start by the good old Windows. Windows 8 was just released, the customer preview of it, consumer preview was released about a few weeks ago, and we had 1 million downloads on the first day itself. And that kind of shows you the interest that the community has in building Windows applications. I want to stress one important thing, that this is not just platforms, 6 or 9 blocks of technologies that are there, but it's the opportunity that presents for developers, which I will talk in a minute. So let's look at Windows. You all know about it. 560 million PCs out there. That's the opportunity for you to connect to if you build an app on Windows Store. Let's go to search. We have done some phenomenal work in our Bing platform, and as they rolled out globally across the region, we would expect it to come into this part of the world as well. Advertising, you know that's a platform with our MSN story, and you can see more details outside, but that's an area we have invested in heavily. And then you move on to Windows Phone. Windows Phone was about a year ago. We had launched it, and now we have the partnership with Nokia, and we have today around 60,000 apps without the phone being available in every corner of the world. So you can imagine the amount of interest that is there on the Windows Phone. And then you have the famous productivity suite like SharePoint and Lync that allows organizations to collaborate together. And then you have gaming and Xbox. Again, a phenomenal success. I can tell you there is not a single store or a gaming platform that I have seen where there is no Kinect seen on the stage. So again, a huge opportunity for developers with Kinect and the opportunity there. Skype was a recent acquisition that we had, and again, a good amount of reach that we can provide with Skype. And then you have the CRM software with Dynamics, and last but not the least, the cloud platform and the infrastructure tools. But I want you to take away 2 things from this slide. The first is the opportunity, right? Many of these platforms has a great amount of reach. So a developer who creates an application will suddenly find himself across accessing all those entities that we have the reach in. The second is the time to make a platform. As a startup, you don't know which direction your idea is going to go. Maybe you want to develop something for Windows that moves to Skype, that extends to phone, then has a productivity component, and then finally goes to Skype. How fast can you develop a platform or a solution that marries all these platforms together? And that's where, through one common tool set, you can actually integrate this rather than worrying about how you integrate all these different pieces together. So let's moving on. The last part of the story here is about how we can help the innovation part in terms of actually the facility itself. So in some countries, we have, like for example in Jordan, we have it in Tunisia, we have something called the Microsoft Innovation Center. The Innovation Center brings the latest of technologies that a startup can access to And then together with partnership of Microsoft Research and academic institutions that we have partnered with, you can actually build your solution and get the right amount of mentorship from a technology perspective. So the three things that are very key to the presentation here is the fact that we have partners, and then we have a lot of products that can help build that solution, and last but not least, the innovation center where you can facilitate. And then you move on, we have a software. So many of the startups don't have the capital. They don't have the money to actually build solutions. So where do they go to? This program called the BizSpark, which some of you are aware of, and there are more details outside, is a 3-year free software access for a startup to actually build a solution. And we have various models of BizSpark, BizSpark Plus, BizSpark 1, which give you more and more features, but a startup essentially can get free software through the BizSpark program. So now let's move on, and then it comes to the concept of opportunity. That's where I get the question most. Yes, I have the product, I have the idea, what do I do with the opportunity? So moving on to the opportunity, the first one is the customer base. And this is something we have been thinking about internally. We have over 25,000 businesses across the Middle East and Africa region. How can we help you as a company or a startup who has developed a solution into this network? Okay, that's one opportunity that we can pick up. The second one is the partners. 2,500 certified partners that are promoting our solutions, and Microsoft is a partner company. At the end of the day, what we are today is because of partners. How can we plug you into the Microsoft Partner Network? And the last one is really about our online assets. As you can see, Windows Live, Hotmail, Bing, Xbox Live, these are platforms that a lot of people are using. How can we promote our startups through this chain? So for example, a startup that has qualified, we can actually promote, let's say, advertising on the MSN platform. So 3 ways that we think we can really add value in terms of connecting startups to opportunities so that they get the right amount of investments and the right amount of network within our organization. So moving on, 3 things that I need you to take away. First, we have a strong platform for innovation through the Imagine Cup and the other things. Helping making a product. We have business partnerships, we have the technology platform, we have the Microsoft Innovation Center, and last but not the least, we have the software that we give 3 years free of charge. And then, through the opportunity, through the customers, through the partner network, and the online, we can help you actually grow your business. So with that, the question I'm always asked is, what's next? What is Microsoft thinking of next? So I'm going to show you a short video that tells you our vision and our dream. But again, although many of it may look very futuristic, I can tell you some of those technologies are available today. You will see, for example, in that video, how Kinect, which is a sensor that is sitting today outside, is integrated into the device so that gesture recognition is built into the device. You will see things like Microsoft Surface, which is touch-enabled, is now integrated into the device so people can actually use touch natively around the house. But not to take the excitement away, I want to show you what the video looks like. So let's roll the video and dim the lights a bit. Thank you.
Benaderen die brandsteen jou bakkie zone te skerp. Uw aandag alsjeblieft. Welcome to Johannesburg International Airport. Please approach the road to create your pickup zone.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the kind of innovation that we dream. $9.5 billion every year on research and development. That's the kind of opportunity that sits in front of us today to make a difference. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And I look forward to partnering with you in the world of innovation. Thank you.